Hi, my name is Franciria Moore with the Prosperity Agenda. Welcome to Coaching Up Close, our mini webinar series designed to work some quick tips into your busy schedule to help you improve your coaching skills. But first, let me introduce TPA. We are working to end persistent poverty, changing the way we think about, build programs for, and coach families under financial stress. Coaching is, of course, a big part of our DNA, and we are working with organizations all over the country on their coaching programs. Before we jump in, if you're joining us live, we'll be having question and answer sessions at the end of the webinar, so save your questions. Now, let's get started. Today's session is about reflective listening. As you know, reflective listening is one of our core 4 coaching skills used in coaching conversations. If you're not familiar with the core 4, just as a quick review, they are reflective listening, asking permission, powerful questions, and holding the focus. You can find more information about those 4 things and much more about the family-centered coaching curriculum on our website at theprosperityagenda.com. But today we'll be specifically focusing on reflective listening. Now, this probably sounds very, very familiar to active listening. We know that listening is an activity, it's a verb, it's an action, it's something that you do. Hearing is very different from listening. When you're listening, you're hoping to gain understanding, you're exploring with people. Reflective listening takes that just a step further by saying, I want to reflect back to the speaker what I thought I heard, because I want to make sure that I really got it. You know, when we go through the drive-through and we give an order, or even when we're in a sit-down restaurant, one of the things that I really enjoy is when a waiter is so confident, or a waitress is so confident in their skill that they don't write it down. Because I'm always intrigued about whether or not they'll get those things right. Because I will be honest, I always have some special specifications or some things that I want just a little bit different that aren't on the menu. I know I'm that person. So when I go, I would like tomatoes in my Caesar salad. And I'm always interested to see whether or not the waitress or waiter, the wait staff, has the ability to take in all of the different things that I said and bring it back to me without writing it down. But even more impressive is when they can repeat back everyone's order around the table and they hadn't written anything down yet. I always find that really interesting, and that's similar to what we will be doing in coaching when we listen reflectively. We want to make sure that what they said is what we understand, because it's very often miscommunication happens when you said one thing and thought you were communicating a certain thing, and I heard you say something, and I understood you to be saying something totally different. And so in order to avoid mishaps that come from misunderstandings and miscommunication, reflective listening allows you to reflect back what you heard, not in a word for word way, but in a summarizing, overarching way. Okay, there are some very, 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 very clear benefits to reflective listening, and we're going to dive into those. But before we do, I want you to understand what you'll be reflecting when you're listening. You can reflect back feelings. Okay, so that would sound like, I heard you say this. It sounds like you're sad. Are you? Because a person's tone also gives us information when we're listening. So when we're listening reflectively, we don't want to make any assumptions about feelings that are coming through. We often hear it said that some conversations don't need to happen over email or text because tone and intention can be misconstrued. And the same can happen in a face-to-face conversation. So you want to make sure that you're understanding feeling if those feelings seem to come up in a conversation. So you want to confirm, you sound sad, are you? And that gives the participant an opportunity to clarify any feelings that may come along with the conversation they're having with you. It also allows you to reflect back meaning or value. That would sound like, so I think you're saying that you're worried about taking a job. Do I have that right? Now, the participant could have talked all around the issues. They could have mentioned, issues with childcare. They could have mentioned issues with transportation. And all of that leads to, I don't know if I can take this position because I'm worried about whether or not I'll be able to keep up. So we could summarize all of that down to, you're worried about taking this position. do I have that right? We're listening and we're reflecting back the meaning or value in a conversation with the participant. And then the last thing that you can reflect back is content, simply what they're saying. That's all. No meaning, no feeling, no deeper thing. I just want to make sure that I'm correctly hearing what you said. So you went on the interview and it was difficult. It was a difficult experience for you. Did I get that right? We don't want to assume, again, that we understand the content, but we want to make sure that we've extrapolated the most important piece of the conversation that they've given us. The beautiful part about reflective listening is that it also plays so well with the other three core coaching skills. It allows you to it leads you to more powerful questions when you reflect back what you heard. So instead of asking questions that are kind of yes or no questions that don't really push the conversation forward, when you're listening reflectively, it sets you up so that you can ask more powerful questions. If you're wondering how to ask a powerful question, don't you fret. You can go right over to our YouTube page. We have Coaching Up Close on there about powerful questions. It also supports you holding the focus of the meeting. When we hold the focus, we make sure that the agenda of the participant continues and remains front and center throughout the entire meeting, so that we're not chasing rabbit holes or going off in different ways or going off on whims, but that we're holding the focus of the meeting and we're getting through the objective of the meeting, as the participant has said. It also leads to us asking permission so that we can further explore things that we've heard or information that you would like to share. And so when we combine reflective listening with the other core coaching skills, we find that we're having a robust and potent conversation with our participants. And it can range, even if you had 10 minutes with a participant. By reflectively listening to what they're saying, you can capitalize on every minute that you have with that participant. Okay, so let's go over some of the benefits of listening reflectively. The participant feels heard. How many times have you called in to a customer service line and you got someone and you were trying to really just explain to them your frustration or your experience or the question that you have, and you did not feel heard? How does that make you feel? It causes a little bit of frustration, right? Well, the beautiful thing again about reflective listening is not only are you listening, but you're showing the participant that what they have to say is important, that it is valuable, and that you see them as an agent of change in their own life. So the participant feels heard. The second thing is it increases clarity, helping you get to powerful questions. So we already discussed that. We want to make sure that we're getting to questions that move the conversation forward and really unearth new information that maybe the participant didn't know about themselves or those around them. It helps the coach hold the focus of the meeting. Again, we spoke about that. It raises the participant's self-awareness. So self-awareness is awareness about their character, their feelings, their motives, and their desires. And so when we reflect back by listening reflectively, we are helping to raise the self-awareness of that participant by holding up a mirror to them, okay? It also mirrors back potential blind spots that the participant has. Sometimes hearing someone else say something back to you that you've been thinking helps you to clarify or change something, or maybe even recognize that that belief or that thought or that statement doesn't serve you. There have been many times where I've been thinking, that I had a genius idea, like this is so smart, this is gonna change the world, right? And then I say it out loud to someone and they go, do you mean this? And I suddenly realize all of the flaws that exist in that idea, because now I've said it out loud and someone's reflected it back to me. It's just like when you get dressed for work or to go to school in the morning or to start your day in the morning. And I know if you're anything like me, for a while, I didn't have any mirrors in my house outside of the one that was in the bathroom. And so I would go out of the house thinking that I looked great. I looked fantastic, and I had my best outfit on. And then someone would snap a picture of me and I would see myself and go, that's not at all how I thought I looked. And that's exactly what reflective listening allows you to do with your participants. Not that you're hoping that they would see something that's detrimental to them, but you're hoping that they will see it and confirm that this is the picture that they want to present to the world. So again, it raises their self-awareness. And then lastly, it reinforces insights or ideas. Okay, so again, it reinforces insights that they've had or ideas that they have, and allows you to move into a more collaborative space with your participants. Reflective listening by far is one of the greatest tools that a coach has, because it allows them to explore more deeply what the participant values, what they desire, what their strengths are, and it guides us toward a coaching mindset. When you come in with the desire to listen reflectively, it's much easier for you to enter the coach's mindset. And the coaching's mindset is our GPS. It is goal-driven, it is participant-centered, and it is strengths-based. When you listen reflectively, it's much easier to be goal-driven, participant-centered, and strengths-based, because you are simply on a fact-finding mission. You are exploring all of the possibilities and the information that the participant is laying at your feet, and you're helping them sort through it so that they can find the answer to the questions that they've been asking. That's all I have for now. We would love for you to all hang out so that we can go into a question and answer session. Thank you for watching. Join us next month for more coaching tips and resources, and be sure to stick around for the question and answer portion. And of course, if you have questions about our coaching training programs, or if you would like to sign up for the next Coaching Up Close webinar, visit theprosperityagenda.org. Make sure that you forward this information out to other people and share our YouTube page as well. We are very excited about the following topics, and I would even be open to having you send some suggested topics over to us so that we can discuss those as you would like us to. With that said, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.